Yeah, can you hear me, guys? Is my screen visible? Is my
Yeah,
Yes,
we
audio?
I
can
can
hear
hear.
you. Yeah, we can hear you and your skin is visible.
Okay. So before I start the demo session, let me introduce myself. My name is Shivakumar. Okay, I have around 20 plus years of experience. So I started my career as Oracle DBA. That is in the month of June 2003. Later, I shifted to other technologies, but for the past 10 years, okay, I have been on DevOps, Azure Cloud, Azure DevOps, AWS, and GCP. Okay, this is my brief introduction. And the course title is like cloud automation using Terraform and Python. This is the course title. So the duration of the course is 6 weeks. But if it may take up to 1 more week, okay, 7 weeks might be taken. And our class days will be Monday to Friday. And every session is a live session. And every session is recorded. And once the session is over, that will be posted in Google Drive and that will be shared with you. And when it comes to prerequisite, who can learn this course? Prerequisites for this course. So here, majorly you don't need to have any coding and scripting knowledge. Okay. So it is better to have HTML, HTML, scripting knowledge. It is not mandatory. Okay, because whatever script we are going to write, that is very much similar to and this data representation format, HTML and DHTML. Okay, now let us see what is the need of automation. So to understand automation, cloud automation, what is the need of cloud automation? So before we understand what exactly cloud automation and what is the need of cloud automation is, let us understand. So what are the job roles first? Okay, what are the job roles? So generally when it comes to job roles, we are having something like cloud admin and cloud architect, and other one is cloud developer. Okay, and there is another area called cloud specialization. Okay, so here under cloud specialization, every cloud is having its own specialization tools like machine learning, artificial intelligence, IoT. Okay, this is something like machine learning or IoT and data warehousing. These are the specializations that are available in every cloud platform. Now, our major area, our area of interest is cloud admin and cloud architect. Okay, but what exactly here? A cloud admin and cloud architect. So we don't focus on this cloud developer and cloud specialization because these are completely different areas. Okay, our major goal is, okay, to learn cloud admin and cloud architect. And when it comes to cloud admin and cloud architect, we need to know about automation. Suppose I want to launch, okay, a website. I want to launch website. Okay, I want to launch a website like Flipkart, Amazon, and some other website I need to launch. Generally, before cloud environment, before cloud days, people have used data centers. I think everyone might be knowing about data centers. Data center is an area where exactly all the physical servers are managed and maintained and created. Okay, suppose I am running one online shopping mall. Okay, so for that I need many servers, right? I need web servers, database servers, app servers, many servers are required. So generally when I approach a software company, okay, what happens first? First, let us understand this flow. Then we will come to this part again. First, let us understand this DevOps flow. Okay, what happens when you approach a software company? So when you approach a software company, generally what happens means, first developers will start writing the code. Developers will start writing the code. Okay, so not only single developer, approximately per project 7 to 8 developers will be writing code. That is minimum. Maximum depends on the project size. Maximum depends on project size. This is a developer area. You are seeing these 2 developers are working from their own systems. And once their work is over, at the end of the day, every developer is going to submit code into an area called source code management system. Source code management system or code repository, version control system. These are all similar. These are all similar names, guys. These are all similar names. The responsibility of source code management system is to manage the code, and it has to manage the history of the code. It has to remember who developed, who submitted what, and how many versions they have submitted. Okay, so that kind of history will be known to source code management system. And in source code management system like Git or Azure repos, source code is available. Source code is available. But can I give source code directly to my customer? No, it is not possible. Source code must be converted into some application format here. Source code must be converted into some application or artifact or package format. Generally, applications are like jar files or WAR files, exe files, DLL files. Okay, so here to convert source code into application format, this code is promoted to build environment. So build environment means it is not a single system, it is a collection of many servers here. Okay, it is a collection of many servers. It is a collection of many servers here. And in the build environment, Maven like build tools will come into picture. Maven, if it is Java project, okay, and make if it is a C++ projects. Okay, so here my artifact or application is ready, but can I give artifact or application to my customer directly? No. Okay, it must be tested thoroughly again. Okay, so for that we are going to promote this artifact into testing area where testers are going to conduct many automated tests like system testing, functional testing, load balancing, performance test. These are the automated tests. And in each and every box is nothing but environment here. This is build environment. This is QA environment. And this is UAT. UAT is nothing but here once my code is okayed by my testers, and that will be promoted to customer system, customer area. This is nothing but customer area, where exactly the business customer is going to test the artifact, whether it is meeting all the requirements of his business or not. Okay, so every environment contains hundreds of servers here. Just for the sake of simplicity, just I have given 3 stars or 4 stars or 2 stars. So in UAT environment, customer is going to test when customer satisfies, and that is going to be placed. The artifact is placed in hundreds of servers in live environment. This is a live environment, okay, where my artifact or application will be placed in hundreds of servers. Just for the sake of simplicity, I have given only 2 stars. 2 stars are nothing but 2 servers. Okay, but in reality, your application has to be placed in hundreds of servers because the application is sometimes heavily used in the peak hours. Okay, so if you consider a food delivery application, then like Zomato, Swiggy, and if it is a book my show application in a new movie release time, okay, so that application will be heavily used, right? Okay, so they need hundreds of servers. But for my every environment, for every requirement, I need servers. For every requirement, I need what? Servers. Okay, I need environment. Okay, environmental creation is required. Environment is required. Okay, the environment can be like QA environment. Okay, like pre-prod or UAT and prod environment. It is also known as live environment. So actually environment is nothing but 2 things here. Environment creation involves 2 things here. Okay, like creating servers. Okay, servers means they don't servers means these are not physical servers. These are nothing but cloud servers. Cloud servers. Okay, so environment creation involves creating servers and configuring softwares. But here the thing is, for every environment, generally they need hundreds of servers. Hundreds of servers are required. Hundreds of servers and installing necessary softwares for different environments like Java, Tomcat. Okay, some testing tools like Selenium testing softwares we need to install in hundreds of servers. That kind of activity you have to perform. But how you perform this activity? Okay, as a cloud engineer, okay, you have to you have to create environments. So every environment involves creation of 100 servers and configuring softwares. But if you want to do this activity, will you approach manual activity? Manual activity means manual approach. What is mean by manual approach here? Okay, we can create hundreds of servers and we have to log in into each and every server. You have to install softwares. Is it a good approach? It is not efficient approach because it is completely time taken process. So if you want to configure hundreds of servers and installing softwares, it takes months of time. As a cloud engineer, you have to automate this process. You have to automate environment creation process. As a cloud engineer, you have to automate environment creation process. Okay. Now here, to automate environment creation, to create environment creation, we need IAC tools. IAC stands for infrastructure as code. Okay, suppose you are working for some organization. Okay, I will take my example. Suppose I am working for Microsoft. Okay. So for Microsoft, these are the clients. Just imagine Wipro, Bank of America, and TCS, and Infosys. These are the clients of Microsoft. Okay. My aim as a cloud admin or cloud architect is to automate environment creation process. To automate environment creation process. For that, I'm going to use IAC tools, infrastructure as code. So what are the IAC tools here? So these are the IAC tools. Okay, like cloud formation. This is from AWS. And when it comes to Azure cloud, there is something like ARM templates. This is from Azure. And there is another Google cloud templates. Okay, Google deployment templates. This is from GCP, Google Cloud Platform. Okay, these are the popular IAC tools. Now assume that for Microsoft company, okay, these are the 4 clients, and assume that this Wipro is using AWS cloud, and for deploying their servers, and this Bank of America is using Azure, and this TCS is using GCP, and Infosys is using some other cloud like Oracle cloud. Okay, and for every client, as an admin, I need to write automation script. But when I want to write automation script for Wipro client, I have to use AWS. In AWS, there is a cloud formation tool called cloud formation. Automation tool called cloud formation. And when I want to work for Bank of America, okay, I have to write scripting in ARM templates because they are using Azure cloud. And when I want to deploy servers for TCS client, I have to use Google Deployment Cloud GCP. And when I want to work for Infosys, I have to use Oracle Cloud. In Oracle Cloud also, there is some other technology for writing automation script. Like this, how many clouds will be learning? It is not possible, right? Okay, for Wipro, I have to use, since Wipro people are using AWS, I have to use cloud formation script. Since Bank of America are using Azure, Bank of America servers are on Azure cloud. Okay, I have to use ARM templates. So like this, I cannot learn all the tools like this here. This is not a good approach here. So for that, okay, so there is one powerful tool called and generic IAC tool called Terraform. Okay, these cloud formation, ARM templates, Google deployment templates, these are all cloud specific tools, cloud specific IAC tools. Okay, and my cloud formation cannot be used on Azure, and ARM templates cannot be used on AWS. These are completely cloud specific IAC tools. Okay, so rather than learning and writing script in every cloud formation ARM templates, okay, if I use Terraform, okay, I can build infrastructure on any cloud. All you need to specify is one provider. At the time of writing script, automation scripting, you need to write something like provider. Okay, provider is going to decide on which cloud you are building the infrastructure. Provider is nothing but it is a cloud platform where we have to build, okay, virtual servers, cloud servers. Okay, now The major advantage of Terraform is it is a generic IAC tool which can build infrastructure on almost every cloud. And nowadays people are confusing tools like this, Ansible, Terraform, like this. So actually there are two different types of installation tools. One is IAC, which stands for infrastructure as code. So under infrastructure as code, we have cloud formation. It is specific on, it can build infrastructure only on AWS cloud. And ARM templates. ARM stands for Azure Resource Manager. Azure Resource Manager. This can build infrastructure only on Azure cloud. And this is something like Google deployment templates. It can build infrastructure on GCP. And Terraform. Just a minute, guys. Terraform, which is known as generic IAC tool. So what is the functionality of these IAC tools actually? They can do two activities. Okay. So what are the two activities they can do? They create cloud servers as well as they can install, they can configure softwares. But in software industry, people are using some other tool like configuration management tools. Configuration management tools. So what is the difference between configuration management tools and IAC tools? Configuration management tools, they cannot create servers. They cannot create servers. So if servers are already there, suppose 500 servers are there. In 500 servers, I want to install, okay, JDK software, Apache to IIS software, JBoss, WebLogic, okay. Some softwares I want to install in 500 servers. Then I can use configuration management tools. But servers are not there. I told you that 500 servers are there. If the servers are not presented, we have to create servers, we have to configure softwares. Then, okay, we cannot use configuration management tools. We have to go for IAC tools. Okay, IAC tools are going to perform server creation and configure. They can configure softwares. And what are the configuration management tools here? Ansible, Chef, Puppet. So Puppet is completely outdated. No one is using Puppet nowadays. Okay. So this is a basic difference between IAC tools and configuration management tools. Okay. Now, what is the specialty of Terraform? In our course, we are going to cover, okay, all Terraform activities. So Terraform generally, it is going to follow one data representation format called HCL. HCL stands for HashiCorp configuration language. So it is very easiest language to learn. Okay, the commands and the blocks, everything will be very easiest, very easy to read, write, and pronounce. And this HCL is also called as DSL. DSL stands for domain specific language. But who is the creator of this Terraform? So there is a company called HashiCorp. Okay, so he is a creator. So it is a company, okay, who has given okay, who has given this Terraform product. Now, the purpose here, I explained about two job roles, right? Cloud admin and cloud architect. Okay. So, sorry, first let me write architect here. Architect And second job role is cloud admin. Generally, cloud architect is a person who is going to design, who is going to give proposal to you, who is going to give proposal. Suppose I want to launch one website. Okay, to launch a website, okay, if I approach cloud architect, he is going to give complete proposal or design document that is given by cloud architect. So cloud architect is a person who is going to give complete design of your website. Like he is going to decide how many servers are required, what is the monthly cost we have to pay, okay, what is the licensing cost. That kind of idea is given by proposal, this cloud architect. Once the proposal is given, the proposal or design is implemented by cloud admin. So he is the person who implements the proposal given by an architect. Okay. And to implement the proposal given by cloud architect, cloud admin is going to use any cloud. It can be AWS cloud, or it can be Azure cloud, or it can be GCP. Okay, there are three ways of using every cloud. So what is the first way actually? This is first way is website. Website means in website a UI is given to you. Using that UI, you can create any kind of servers, but this is completely manual activity. So whatever activities you are doing from website, okay, cannot be automated. But when it comes to Azure cloud, the website is nothing but a portal. And when it comes to AWS cloud, the website has a name called console. And this is the first way of using AWS, any cloud. And the second way of using any cloud is through commands. Every cloud is going to offer some commands. Okay, suppose I want to create a virtual machine. For that, if you come across Azure cloud, there is a command, AJVM create command. And that command can be executed from, okay, any CI/CD tool like Jenkins and Azure DevOps. And you can schedule the command when you have to create a server, how many servers you wanted to create. But so if you are doing the activity from website, that cannot be executed from CI/CD engines. CI/CD engines. Only if you write commands, the commands can be automated. The commands can be scheduled. Okay. Now, what are the different ways of commands? If it when it comes to AWS, there is an approach called AWS CLI. Okay. And when it comes to Azure, its own functionality like Azure CLI. This is the second way of creating infrastructure. This is for automation. And the third way of using AWS or Azure cloud is scripting. Okay, I told you right here, when it comes to AWS, here we are going to use cloud formation. And when it comes to Azure, there is an approach called ARM templates. These are specific to clouds. But Terraform is an excellent tool, okay, which can build infrastructure on almost every cloud in the world. Okay, so since AWS and Azure are very popular nowadays, okay, as a part of our course, okay, we will be learning Terraform with AWS and Azure clouds. And when it comes to cloud developer, so you will be using AWS and Azure cloud from coding. Coding is different, scripting is different. Coding is different and scripting is different. So when it comes to coding, okay, generally they will be using programming language like .NET, Java, okay, Node.js. Okay, these are the programming languages. Okay, which developers are going to use to create infrastructure. Okay, so these are the three different job roles. But in our course, we will be learning these two, cloud admin part. Okay. So as a cloud admin, okay, if you are working with multiple clouds, okay, so if your company is working for multiple clients and if multiple clients are using multiple clouds, okay, we cannot use all the IAC tools. Since we cannot use all the tools, we will be learning one popular and generic IAC tool called Terraform. And using Terraform, okay, we are going to create environments. Just environment is nothing but, okay, creation of servers and configuring softwares. Okay. Now, till now, if you have any questions, you can ask me, guys.
Yeah, sir, one question. So actually,
Yes.
I am using GCP now. So you are going to talk about GCP or not, or it is totally on Terraform or AWS or Azure?
Here we are going to speak about AWS and Azure clouds only because they are very popular. Okay, if you are interested, I can show, okay, how to create
Yeah.
infrastructure in GCP cloud using Terraform also. That is end, but that is least priority. Okay, our highest priority is AWS and Azure. Okay, if you want at the end of the sessions, I will show a few examples how to create infrastructure on GCP cloud also using Terraform.
Okay, so in this course we will learn about how to create the VMs and like that.
No, you will be creating VMs only. Okay, so other than VMs, what you will be creating? VM is a major thing, right? Okay, just
Yes.
now I was spoken about environmental creation. Environmental creation also involves servers, right? Cloud servers. Just I told you right here, environmental creation. Okay, here this is not environmental creation. This is environment creation, right?
Yes.
Okay, environment creation is nothing but what? Creation of cloud servers and configuring softwares. And my Terraform can create, Terraform can do two activities. It can create servers and it can configure softwares also. That is a major activity. Without that, okay, what is, so what you will be creating with Terraform? The major thing is servers, right?
Yes.
And one more thing, and what is the syllabus that we are going to cover? Let me open course content once here. It's, I think, where is that? Okay, so tomorrow I am going to show how to create a AWS account, and I am also going to show how to set up Terraform, how to initialize a folder. Okay, so how to connect to AWS cloud via Terraform. Okay, the session is very important and interesting also. Okay, I will show complete setup of Terraform in tomorrow's class. And after that, from day 3 onwards, we are going to start creating resources. First, I will show how to create resources from console manually. Because without creating resources manually, okay, if you directly go to Terraform, you are not able to understand anything. So that is why, okay, first I am going to show how to create resources. So using, when you want to create resources, you will be understanding what are the inputs, okay, you need to supply, okay, for Terraform. What are the inputs that you need to give to create a resource? Okay, once you create the resources manually from console, then we are going to automate. We are going to write automation script using Terraform. And so here there is a brief introduction about IAC. Just we have discussed Ansible, Chef, Puppet, Terraform. What is the difference between these three and last Terraform? And we are going to set up Terraform on Linux and Windows systems. Okay, so here we are going to use the easiest way. What is the easiest way of installing softwares? And what are the softwares that are required for our course? That also we are going to discuss. And tomorrow I told you, right? AWS account creation and access setup. And from AWS CLI, how to configure credentials. And these are the services that you have to understand in AWS, like EC2, VPC, storage, key file, IAM, EBS, volume, AMI, ELB, AWS block storage. Okay, then we are going to automate this process, how to create this. And we are going to take one complete company network. Okay, how generally a software company will be having a network, like how to create a network, how to create subnets within the network, and how to attach a gateway, how to attach route tables. Okay, how to link up route table with subnets, and only how to link up gateway to VPC. Okay, first I am going to show everything from console. Okay, because console manual activity is very important. Without that, directly we cannot write a automation script. Okay, then we will be moving to Azure Cloud. I will show how to create Azure Cloud also. And there we will be discussing some services creation. After that, we are going to automate it. These are the services that we are going to discuss in Azure Cloud. Azure Virtual Machines, Virtual Network, Azure Disk Files. And these are the basic commands and frequently used commands. Okay, in our Terraform, like init command, validate, plan, apply, destroy. And what are these blocks? So here arguments, attributes. Okay, arguments are nothing but input values, attributes are nothing but output values here. And how to write comments. Okay, how to create Terraform folder structure. Okay, that is also important. And what is the block, like provider block, what it does, resource block, input block. Okay, generally when you speak about Terraform scripting, okay, it is a collection of blocks. A block will contain one or more statements. Okay, for writing any Terraform scripting, we have to use blocks: provider, resource block, input block, output block. These are the necessary blocks. Okay, which we have to understand. Okay, to write a Terraform script. Tomorrow I'm going to explain everything. And this is Terraform dependency management. Okay, like dependency depends on count for each. When prompted, Terraform, TF. These are the topics that we are going to cover. And Terraform data sources, modules. Okay, and Terraform null resources, and something like Terraform module server, data sources, and backend, how to create a remote backend. Okay, generally when multiple people are working in a project, okay, so there should be a state file which should be centralized. So generally when one single developer is working, the state file is local to one particular developer. Okay, if the Terraform's state file is locally deployed, other developers will not be able to refer that file. Okay, so when every developer wanted to refer this state file, that must be stored in a central location, like Azure storage. I will show how to store backend in Azure storage and S3 bucket also. And Terraform data sources. And this is about local storage, remote state storage, Terraform workspaces. Because these are the provisioners. And provisioners are nothing but blocks which are going to configure softwares. Just now I have discussed a few things, right? Environment creation involves two things here: creation of servers and installing softwares. And when you want to provision softwares, once your virtual machines are created by Terraform, Okay, we are going to use something like Terraform provisioners here, Terraform modules. And after that, we'll be learning, okay, Python. In Python, we are going to discuss Python introduction. In Python introduction, we are going to see overview, use cases, and what is that? Python data structures, Python conditions, Python loops, Python functions, methods. Okay, and Python modules. Modules are nothing but reusable components. Generally, in other programming languages like Java, we have packages, right? Okay, packages are nothing but modules in Python. And this is about Python OOPS concepts. OOPS concepts is nothing but object-oriented programming, which is also known as advanced Python. And we will be learning exception handling. And we will be learning about Boto 3. Boto 3 means it is a module that is available in Python, especially for communicating with AWS cloud. Okay. So using Python also we'll be creating services in AWS. Okay, guys, this is our course structure, which might take 6 to 7 weeks. It may take more than that one also, but I have given rough idea, rough duration. Okay, guys, now if you have any questions, you can ask me, you can clarify your doubts. Okay, I will be able to answer your questions.
So today you're, sorry for joining late. So this is our fourth class, or this is you are again starting from the beginning, sir?
Again, I'm starting from beginning. New students
sir.
will be joining. For old students, it is a backup class.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Because some of the students have missed my beginning classes, right? Okay, concepts and setting up Terraform. They have missed some important classes. For old students, it is backup. For new students, it is a very beginning class. Don't miss, guys. Don't miss tomorrow's class, because tomorrow's class is most important. Okay, I will show AWS account creation and what are the softwares that are required for our cloud automation course that I am going to show installation. Okay, installation means normal, that is not a traditional installation. We have a new approach of installing softwares on Windows platform. That new approach I am going to show. Okay, and I will also create one Terraform folder structure, and there I am going to create various sections, various files, and I am going to initialize one Terraform folder, and I will start creating resources first manually, then we will be automating those resource creation process. Okay. Guys, any other questions? Don't have any questions? Is everything clear? Whatever we have discussed today, is everything clear? The purpose of Terraform. Okay, what is the need of automation? Is everything clear?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, Shiva.
So if no questions are there, I will stop it for today then. Shall we stop the session for today?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, guys. Thanks for your time. Tomorrow we meet again at the same time with same link. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.